Hello and welcome to Clipping In. Oh, I've got a great ride for you today and something not right here, isn't there? Come back in a bit when I've sorted myself out. Whew. First sign of some winter weather and everything goes to pieces, eh? Well, thankfully, normal service has been resumed. Although, if the weather forecasts are correct for tonight and the rest of the week, there's going to be a lot of snow and some very cold temperatures, which might prove disruptive as far as cycling's concerned. We'll have to see. So it's Monday the 18th of November and it's somewhere after midday, and I'm just hoping to get some local circuits in on known roads, not too high lying, nothing in the way of descending hopefully, and just log a few hours, a couple of hours before the snowpocalypse arrives. The media certainly enjoy these winter snaps. They can roll out all the dramatic cliches. They give a character to the winter weather. You know, the merciless Arctic blast will bring Britain to its knees. I walked to the supermarket this morning just after 8. The forecast said it was -2 at that point, and I can believe that because it was quite difficult standing up in a few places. We'd had a lot of rain yesterday afternoon, early evening, that then froze hard overnight. The dreaded black ice. I saw on my way there what I'm taking to be a schoolboy pushing his mountain bike, and all the side of his trousers were covered in dirt and mud, so I'm thinking he had an off. You do have to take the winter weather forecasts with a pinch of grit, because when I was about to set off, my garden thermometer says 1 degree, and at the top of the garden the water butts were still frozen, but the forecast says 3 Celsius. Which one's true? I think now probably closer to 3 than when I set off, but still, you're never quite sure, and it's just not worth taking that chance. I often find that if my garden thermometer says 1, I don't really want to be going any higher than 550, 600 feet. The high roads, if they've had the same rain and then a hard frost, they're going to be a little bit too adventurous for my liking nowadays. Now today I'm using the City Frost boots with additional neoprene overboots, if we can see that. I noticed yesterday, Sunday morning, I set off at 3 Celsius, and for the first 15-20 minutes feet felt a little bit cool, and I thought, well, I'm not sure if that's just the first 20 minutes until I get warmed up, or if it's the wind chill, whatever it is. I thought today I'd try them with an extra layer, and I'm happy to report that my feet couldn't be any more snug. They're July snug. So this circuit that I do quite often, it goes Clifton Hartshead. It used to be a road race circuit a few years ago until they plumbed in extra traffic lights and junctions. But we're heading now in the direction of Brighouse, down Clifton New Road, as we still call it. And I'm pointing in the direction of Home Moss and Meltham Nab. And panning slightly rightwards is Brighouse. And the opening of Calderdale over there. We'll get a better view after these trees. And this is about 550 600 feet above sea level. One of the advantages of riding this mountain bike with these tyres, you don't go very quick downhill, so the wind chill is reduced at winter. I read an interesting snippet of an article over the weekend with Alistair Brownlee, Olympic triathlete, and he was saying that since his rise in the sport from 2008 to 2012 with the London Olympics, he's seen the rise of social media, personal portable internet, and he was talking about the detrimental effect it's had on athletes and their ability to either follow a training plan or make clear-headed decisions when it comes to training. He's saying how difficult it is to resist the influence of seeing what other people are doing and letting that change your programs and plans, or if you're doing a lot of sort of heavy base work and other people are faster, you panic a bit and you start introducing elements into the training that wasn't in the original program. And he says that he's seen, both on himself and on others, how cycling social media, running social media, basically Strava, I think, has had this effect. And you can imagine that if that applies to an Olympian, when it comes to the rest of us, it doesn't necessarily affect the riding that we're doing, but it can certainly affect whether we'll go for a ride or not, or how far we'll go. I've touched on it, riffed on it a few times this year, Strava-noia. And I think that also feeds into what I was saying earlier about the weather. If you're not sure about going out and certain weather conditions or road conditions, but you see that people on Strava, sometimes in completely different areas with different weather, different routes, if they're going out, you almost feel obliged. In fact, more than obliged, you feel pressurized. You don't want to be the one that knocks, or you don't want to be the one that bails out with a plan B or a plan C. But we get so many local variations in both weather and road conditions that it's quite dangerous to do that. You know, if you're influenced because Johnny Zardoz on the Norfolk Broads has done 100 miles this weekend, you think, oh well, I should at least do 60 or 70 then. But if you're in a completely different area, different weather, different roads, you're not making a local decision, you're being influenced by something. Plenty of salt on the roads, which means plenty of cleaning for the drivetrain. This is flying over the M62. Not far from Hartshead services, for those that know the road. And just there on the right, no, I don't think there's any public access there, but that used to lead to Robin Hood's grave. You can get there via a different track. And the old Kirklees Priory, which is closer to Murfield, where Robin Hood was supposedly poisoned by a sinister abbess and drew his last breath and fired his last arrow. Now if we look just in the back of that churchyard there, that ancient yew tree, I think the legend says that Robin Hood's final arrows were cut from that very tree. If the worst case scenario weather forecast is true, I'm not sure when my next outdoor clipping in video will be. But I've got a couple at least of topics that deserve an indoor treatment. One being a spotlight on the Geos Compact Pro, and also these City Frost 2 winter cycling boots. They'll take an indoor treatment, so no problem. My outdoor riding, if I'm lucky enough, will probably be around here. And if not, I'll be on the dreaded turbo. It's worth mentioning, I think, that it might be easy to give the impression that Clipping In is some kind of outdoor purist channel. You know, the idea that I'd sooner listen to country and western music than go on an indoor trainer, but that's not actually true. And you know, I post at the most 2 outdoor ride videos a week at my peak, but that means there are other days people connected on Strava will know that I do go on the turbo for various reasons. So no purism here. No, I think for Clipping In, videos on the rides or videos about outdoor rides is the core of the channel, and other people do the indoor turbo training videos, Zwift and all the rest, a lot better than I ever could. And certainly I don't think my turbo sessions will make for pleasurable viewing, shall we say. Right, I think I'm seeing the first signs of a school run forming up, so that must mean it's 2 to half past maybe. So what I'll do for this edition of Clipping In, before the snowpocalypse, I'll sign off and see you at some point somewhere in Yorkshire. Bye bye for now.